Hi everybody, it's Carla. Welcome to the Happy Bookmaker. Hey, today's the day that we finish France and Flowers Red Toile. She has been a joy to work on, and it's the first junk journal that I've started and completed with pretty much with you all on YouTube. So let's get going. We're so close, oh my gosh. After completing this in a separate video, I will be doing a flip through video so that you know, it doesn't get too long, and then we can just focus on that. And also it's a resource for my Etsy shop. So, okay, so this first one is going to be really, really simple. And you probably have watched I know that this is like, I've been doing a few of these in a row, the France and Flowers, but again, I'm trying to get it done. But if you've watched the speed, the speed decorating video, this is gonna kind of be like that as far as this layout. It's gonna be super quick and easy, but that was fun. And I got a lot of stuff done that day. I couldn't even believe it. Like, I didn't know I had it in me to do that. So was thrilled with that. That was a super fun one. I will link, well, actually I don't need to link them. Just if you want to look at any of the videos for constructing and decorating France and Flowers Red Toile, there is a playlist for that, for, France and Flowers Red Toile. So you can check those out. So the first thing I want to do, it looks to me like I've already kind of done some inking, probably because of the previous page. Let me do a little bit around here. So this is from the Graphics Fairy, and I have used this in this book before previously, but I printed it on like photo paper, so it looks like an actual photograph, because the Graphics Fairy print has these, you know, deckled edges, and so I just used my deckle scissors, you know, to cut this out. But I just love the idea. Doesn't it remind you of like an old-timey scrapbook? People would just like slap their pictures in. So, excuse me. So I'm gonna like glue this around the sides, but we're gonna have a little pocket on top so that something can be stuck in there at a later time. I actually have this little guy that might work in there. It might get lost. It might fall in too deep. We'll see. I mean, that was pretty easy. Let's see here. I'm gonna put this, attach this. This is one of the tags that I made in the, I did a whole bunch of them. Like I think the video was like, I made a boatload of tags, and then there's a longer one where we actually made some. And I just thought that that was really kind of perfect for this layout. So I think that's kind of it. And I think I want to use this little gold. I could use black too. Let's use this little gold. You know what else we could do? Since we're going to use the little gold paper clip, let's use some of this metallic ink, kind of a goldy metallic, and just kind of tie in a little bit of that gold. Hopefully that'll work. Let's just do a little extra. Come on. Maybe I need to give him a little squirt, huh? I mean, it does kind of look a little bit like vintage photo, but but it is gold. Okay, so let's do that. And this one is finished. So we've got a little journaling. We've got a little pocket. This came in my little haul of French ephemera, and it's just like a little game piece. So this would be the French version of To Express, I guess. I guess that's the idea. So that's it for now. I may add something later, I like that. I like the simplicity of it. Okay. This one, okay, I'm going to try something different on this one. So we are going to use, here's some of the elements that we're going to be using here. And it is going to be, this is vellum. It's an adhesive backed vellum. Here, I need a little help here to hold back my stuff because she's nice and plump. France and Flowers Red Toile, she's nice and plump. Before I do that, a little inking on here, just a little. It's an antique book page. It's got beautiful kind of raised font, raised print. And even though I'm going to cover this, I'm going to do a little bit of inking around it before I do that, just in case, you know, in case I'm a little off on this. And then I believe this is up. So my hope is that, like right now it looks really white, right? But when I lay it down, because this is transparent, I'm hoping that it picks up, like these roses are going to be kind of over this, you know, old looking paper, and it is music paper on the other side, and it kind of comes through a little bit, so it'll be like a subtle image, if that makes sense. I'm also going to do a little inking around it before I lay it down, again, just in case I don't get it on exactly right. I'm a little nervous about this. I did cut it to size ahead of time, but you know how it is, like you're laying down contact paper or wallpaper and you start and it starts to go off wonky and starts to like go off in its own direction. But you could get the same effect with gluing down tissue paper, because as we did our tissue paper layouts, it'll kind of show through what's on the other side. But I had this and I thought I want to try it. So I got to stand up so I can see where I'm going here. Please go down straight. Please go down straight. And is it gonna, it's gonna be, oh, it's gonna be down. It's gonna be down when it's down. I don't think I can even begin to pick that up. Okay. Yeah, it's a little off, but I can't pick it up. Okay, it's just a hair in here. So we can kind of fudge that by putting a, oh, that's too much. Okay, putting a little bit of ink in the corner here. I can take something to kind of fudge that. I mean, I'm probably the only one that's going to notice it. But look, it did what I hoped it would do. It looks like old floral pink paper. And it is writable. I did test a little corner, and if you take a pen like this and write on it, it, you know, it writes perfectly well. This is like, this is Artist Loft permanent marker. You can do a black Sharpie. It'll stick right away. I'll sit down now, and it'll be fine. So it is writable. Now let me just kind of trim this off. All right, who's gonna know? Just us, right? Just us. Actually, I'm really pleased. I was afraid it was gonna be really bad, really wonky, but it looks really good. It looks really good. Okay, so we're gonna do a pocket out of this. Now I know it's a lot of pink going on. You know what, let's see here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a belly band. And so what this is, it's a photograph that I took of some flowers in the backyard, and I meant to print it on a little 4x6, you know, piece of photo paper, and it printed out on 8.5 by 11. So that's what I got. So I'm like, well, what am I gonna do with it? So I'm gonna use it as a belly band, and I'm just gonna like cut off. I don't want to have a ton of the pink showing, just a little bit. So we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna trim it, and a little inking. And this is just gonna give us a little bit more pink. This is gonna be a very pink layout. Look, I printed this on old work paper. I didn't do it on purpose because I didn't mean to. Okay, here we go. Let's give it a little ink. Take down a little bit of this bright pinkness, which, you know, before I had this over the aged look paper, they looked more close in color because that looked a lot brighter up against the white. But I think that's going to be really pretty. So I thought of this as I was kind of sitting down to do this, but I think what I'm going to do is go on my computer and print off in French, pretty in pink. And so you're not going to see that until the flip through, but and just kind of lay that over the top because, yeah, very pink. We got a very pink layout going here because we're not done. We're not done with the pink. We're going to have more. Okay, so we're going to make a belly band out of this. Get out the old Fabrifix glue. She is running out. She is running low. Now, one thing I got to make sure of, hold the horses, hold the phone. This is going to go in here, so I have to make sure that I leave enough room. Yeah, okay, that's plenty to stick that piece of ephemera, and I will explain what that is in just a minute. Okay, just stick this in the middle. That's pretty. It's really pretty. Just, it was a mistake. But now it's pretty. Now it's useful. Wipe that off. So what this is from an 1877 French dictionary. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna give it up now, and it's gonna go in here, provided I left enough room to slide it through. Yeah, it's close. It's close. I might lift this up just a hair. I got a little bit thick on this end. We can fix that. We can fix it. And so it's going to be hiding in here. Lift it up a little bit. Okay. And there it is. So I'm going to stick that back in there after that's dry because it's kind of picking up a little bit of the glue. So how pretty is that, right? Okay, so that's going to be that. Now, and we're going to have our pretty in pink printed off. Let's do a little something. I feel like I need to break this up a little bit. So, one momento. Okay, this is just a piece of book paper, like old book paper. Oh, you know what? I think this is coffee dyed paper that I made. Okay. So I just want to I just felt like it was too, too like in your face, all of this. So we're going to do this. I suppose it could be a secondary pocket. So should I do it like this? Or should I do it like this? If I do it like this, we'll have more of the pink flowers showing. So I think I'll do it like this. Okay, we'll do a secondary pocket. All right, get that little guy down. Okay, I like that. It was just like a little too much, And this is one of those journal cards that we made in the big, in the video about making, let's do a whole bunch of journaling cards and tags. So again, I gotta use it. It's too pretty not to use. Pulls in all of our pinks and fits in beautifully. And I'm gonna use a black paper clip just because there's a lot of black going on here, and it fits in with what's gonna be going on here. I'm gonna hold off clipping that because we're gonna work on the other side. And I may eventually put something here. I'm not sure. Possibly a stamp. I'll think on that. We may do it today, or I may do it in the, you know, you may see it in the flip through is what I'm trying to say. Okay, but that's that. I think that's beautiful. Let's do this layout. Okay, and this time, no, I'm gonna do vintage photo on the edges, and in here is where we're gonna do a pretty red ink, because we are gonna use this pretty red. Is this a cardinal? I think it's a cardinal. And boy, I feel like I'm losing my voice today. I don't know what's up with that. And then we're gonna do this is just a scrap of paper, and I just felt like, again, I wanted to break it up down here. So we're gonna ink both of these, and I'm gonna have this, flowers are the music of life, or music of nature. Flowers are nature's music in French. So we're gonna tear this off, and we are going to fit that up across the top. And then we're gonna do our red inking, and we're gonna do just some pretty flowers. And so we're gonna tie in those reds, and then we might put this little tag up here too. Okay? All right, so let's start with this. Which way should we do it? I could do it like this and like that. I kind of like that. You don't have to see all of that music. Quit moving on me. Okay, so you know, this was like cut out. I can see that now, that it's not ripped out, it's cut out. So I'm gonna kind of go like this, and we're gonna kind of pretend that we're continuing to cut it out until we get to right about here. That's my technical way of making a mark. And maybe what we'll do, well, you know what? This could be a pocket. It could be a pocket. Sure, okay. Let's do a little inking. So that's gonna go here. It'll be a pocket. This is not gonna go in the pocket. It's just gonna go up here. So let's use the decal scissors for this one instead of ripping, because I have to get really close to make sure that I can fit this all in here. It's gonna be right to the edges. And I'm kind of trying to fill up this upper space. I think that's pretty darn good. That is pretty darn good. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm trying not to cover up too much of this title up here. And we got our inking. This is gonna be a pretty one. Pretty. You know what, I think after this, all we have left is our back page and our cover. I'm using a new technique I learned for the cover. Again, is it still covering a little? No, I'm just gonna trim this one last little time. This could be a mistake. You know how you say, I'm just gonna do one more thing and then you screwed up? That happens. That can happen. Oh, I'm sorry. It keeps moving on me. And this is gonna go, oh, that is so pretty. That is so pretty. It looks like it is sort of built into this page. I love it. I love that. And get this down. Make sure we remember that this is a pocket. Again, just a scrap of paper, and this looks to me like coffee dyed paper that I probably printed words or an image on or something. And, you know, I save those things because they have character. Okay. Get a little extra on there, I think, yeah. And I'm kind of avoiding these holes as much as possible. So since I just thought of making a pocket out of that, I probably will be adding something after the fact to the pocket. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, let's get our cardinal down. Very, very, very pretty. So I know birds aren't necessarily French in theme, but you know, they're all part of nature, right? Okay, let's get our inking on. Okay, so that's this ink, and I did kind of practice it to see. It looks really purple. When I tested it, it wasn't, and I'm hoping it really isn't when I do it. So we're gonna just rub this across it. I did do a test, like I said, and it's not, I've been having trouble with, I did sand it a little bit, getting, you know, like when you're in a book that's already pretty full, it's hard to get a stamp to take on every single corner, right? Because it's bulky. So it's probably not going to cover the whole thing. Or, you know, it's not going to be a real strong image. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Apparently there's something on the other side that's, well, I don't know. I don't see anything in the way. Oh, I love it. I love it. Can you see that? It's just got a little bit of, you know, it's missing a little, but the color is right on. It's right on. And let's take this little guy. We're going to stick him up here. So this is a journaling page. Why am I inking this? Because it's dark? Well, because I cut it, and there could be some little white edges showing. Let's use glue stick for this guy. I love that. It kind of brings in this, I don't know, it's kind of like a mossy browny green. That is so pretty. Okay, what kind of stamp? Now I just thought of it, so I have to look for one. Okay, this is simple, but it's just gonna add, it's gonna kind of follow, oops, you know, it kind of follows that curve of the paper. So now this is really lumpy. So I'm hoping that, it works. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. That adds just enough. Let's give it a little more vintage photo around the edges. Did I not do that? I think I didn't. I think I forgot. Yeah, just a little bit. And there you go. How about that? That is so pretty. I love it. And now this pretty in pink layout is done. It is done. Okay, since we're here, let's do our lavender. Let's do the lavender. Or, I'm sorry, sometimes I talk like I'm a school teacher. I'm gonna do a test because I had a pink on here previously. Oh, that's good, okay. And I didn't want it to be, I think we got enough pink going on here. There's a little lavender, it follows the shape. Oh, that's it. That did it, okay. And so there's that one. Alrighty, let's go to our last page, our last layout. Alrighty, so it took me some thinking because what I do here is going to be dependent on the, oh, I think I clipped those together so that they'd stay shut. It's going to be dependent on what we do for the cover decoration. A little inking of this before we do anything. Rubber band, yeah. Okay, until I'm ready to put something there. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we are gonna do another elastic band closure, okay? So we have to drill, we have to punch some holes in here, and we're gonna use this pretty burgundy-ish red. I mean, it is kind of burgundy, isn't it? But it matches beautifully with our France and Flowers red toile fabric. And so just like we did in Elegant Script, that was the first time I've done this, and I loved the way it turned out. And since this is so fat, I thought it would really be, you know, a good way to help that situation. So I think the first thing we're gonna do is get that down, because I wanna get those glued down, and we're gonna be using the 3/16 hole on in the crocodile. I think I went about an inch in and an inch on both sides. I'm gonna use a little black pen to kind of mark. Over here, 1 1/4. Okay, so I'm getting this lined up. I should not have any issues, hopefully. I'm gonna try to lift this up a little. Now, it probably would have been wise to do this early on before this got full. Oh my goodness, okay. I did it, it worked. Okay, okay. There's our hole. Wow, okay. Okay, that side was easier, but there is like a clump of fabric up here, and that was the issue with that. Now that is a really nice clean hole, I gotta say. Okay, so as we did with Elegant Script, that's not the piece. We are gonna go through, we're gonna like thread it through. There we go. So it's gonna go like this, and then into, and this is really rough, that's gonna make it even more difficult. Let's get it as crisp a cut as possible. So I want to make sure that this has not got any twists in it, because once it's down, it's down. So after this is down, we're going to have a pocket here that's going to cover this. So, well, I'll grab that in a minute. I was trying to show you, but I need both hands to do that. Grab a couple of these. I don't know if this will hold it, but we're going to try just while we test it. We'll see. Okay, close it up. Let's see how that looks. I feel like it could be a tad, I'm gonna make it a tad tighter. Okay, I think we can take that off. I think I'm gonna go with this. Oops, I just pulled it a little bit more, but that's all right. I just want it to be, I want it to be snug, like I said, but not, you know, not like bending the book, sort of. So I think that this was kind of the happy medium. So lots and lots and lots of this glue. Now there may be a better way of doing this. This is just kind of what I have figured out from my, this is my second time, for my whole second time of doing it. And press it down. I just, you know, this glue is so strong. I just don't see it going anywhere. Okay. This off. Let's make sure it's not seeping through here. It's not. Okay. All right. So now that that's down, I wanted to get that down and really secure. We're going to continue on with our other pieces. And what that is going to be is, let me go back to using the rubber band, which is not really even strong enough to hold this little wimpy rubber band. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to rip out this pretty digital print, printed it on coffee dyed paper, and I'm just going to kind of rip around it, and we're going to stick that down for a little interest on this music page. Okay. And then we're going to do a pocket. This is going to be our pocket. So that is going to cover up these strings. And I'm going to go right about to here. And then this is going to tuck in here, kind of like so, as far as it can go. And then I'm going to end it with one of my little cards where I kind of sign my name to the book. So handmade with love, the happy bookmaker, and that is going to tuck in there. And then on top of this, I'm going to somehow cut around this image, and just for a little interest on here, you know, obviously I can't have all of it, and slap that down or maybe rip some of it out. So we'll see how we decide to do that. But let's start with this. Let's start ripping. Really simple, really pretty. Little inking. Pulling in our reds for obvious reasons from our red cover. So I suppose this could be a pocket, but since we've got one here, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm also not going to worry about having, you know, journaling space on this last page. I just don't think that's necessary. I am going to take this, and it's kind of like the finale, my journal. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to cut that out and put that at the bottom. Let's see, should I do some little dots after it to be like my journal, dot, dot, dot. Okay, that got a little big. Dot, dot, dot. Okay. My journal, dot, dot, dot. Okay. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Let's glue her down. All right. I'm gonna go up a little higher, just because we've got our my journal at the bottom here. I might have to come back and get these little edges a little bit better. Okay, I mean, it's not like it's going anywhere. I like that. It's I like the way it is kind of curled up a little. That's kind of cool, kind of a cool look. All right, my journal, my journal, my journal. Okay. She's been a fun one. So I'm gonna trim this down a little bit so I can get an idea of how big it, you know, how I want it to be. Okay, so if I was to like just kind of take this and cut, let me just try cutting around this and we'll see what we get. Let's just see here. Let's just see. Okay, so here's what I came up with. And I think I'm going to actually, yeah, I'm gonna trim it even a little bit more so that they're, look, that's so close in color. They're both really peachy. I'm gonna ink this, but I wanna cut off just a little bit more so it's just kind of peeking out. One momento. Okay, yeah, that's it, that's the ticket. And I could even, I'm gonna cut off a little bit on the top. Okay, and the reason I did that was because I'm trying not to hide all of this lace, and that really wasn't adding anything. Wasn't adding anything. So, okay, a little inking, and that's gonna set that up. Oh gosh, that's pretty. Bringing in the reds, and we've got our peachy pink color. That is so pretty. Okay, I'll just shut up now and do it. I should just shut up about it. Okay. And yeah, that is very, very, very pretty. Still showing plenty of the lace at the bottom. We still have that sort of raggedy edge at the top. Yeah, I really, really like that. Got a little under here, just with our leftover glue here. Yeah, very, very, very nice. Okay, so now this is what's gonna cover. And also what that did was give this a little more thickness. It makes it a little more substantial pocket. I mean, I do pockets all the time with just plain copy paper and they're fine, but it just, you know, it adds a little something. So I wanna get this, let me make sure of something here. Where's our, this is a piece of the French ephemera from my haul. And I don't, it's some kind of a, looks like some kind of a dictionary page of some sort. So I just want to make sure that that's going to fit. I don't know that I'm going to know until I get this down. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then that is going to tuck right in there. How cute is that? Okay. So I'm going to put a lot of glue around this side because I need it to come in pretty far. I mean, I guess what I could do, sorry, didn't mean to shake in your face. I guess what I could do is just kind of go over that way. I'm sure I'm going to cover it, right? Yeah. Here it goes. Right on the edge. Letting a little bit of that whitish fabric show. I think that's pretty even. Okay. Oh, that is very, very pretty. Okay. That's good for that. That is gonna go in here. And this is gonna go in here. Just kind of tucked in. And that is the final layout. How pretty is that? Okay, I'm gonna take this out for a minute and let that really dry. I'm gonna go wash my hands. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. What I wanted to do was get off as much of that ink that was kind of wet as possible, because now I'm going to be touching the outside of the book. I still have some glue on me, but I wanted to get rid of as much of the ink as possible because we don't want to muck up the outside of our cover. So we're down to the decorating of the cover, and here is what I came up with. Due to the fact that we have a France and Flowers one, which is this guy, you can see that she turned out so pretty. Look how big and fat it is. I could probably tie this tighter and make it squish down a little bit more, but this turned out so beautiful. So what I'm trying to do is sort of coordinate the two, right? They're part of a series. I'm thinking about having one last one, and it might be like, well, I'm not gonna say, I've got another idea. But anyway, so that is what we're kind of basing this design on. So what we're going to do is take that fabric and we're gonna put it across. I did not wanna cover up these pretty ladies' heads, but I have to. There's just no way to get around it. It just looks goofy to have it off. And you know, the idea of the toile is still there. It's still toile, it's still beautiful. So we're gonna glue this down. I think I'm gonna use PVA. I'm gonna try it. I watered my Eileen's tacky glue down. It was really thick last time I used it. So let's start with that and then we'll move on, because I'm gonna make it kind of a surprise. Okay, so I'll put this down here. And let's see here. I'm just going to brush the glue on. This is the backing of that vellum, so we're just gonna do this. Okay, here we go. I also don't wanna make it too wet, but I think that this is a better option, I hope so, than the Fabrifix. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start here, and I confess I am eyeballing the center. Just gonna start here. See, I think that works really well. And it's a little, you know, when it's damp, you can maneuver fabric. That's what's really cool about it. So what we're gonna do is that greenish, goldish flower is going to, I have so much glue on my hands right now. It's going to turn the corner, right? It's gonna turn the corner. So we've got a little bit of that going across the other side. And then this is just gonna end up here. And see the way it stretches now, it looks like I've got a little extra. Push that down because it is a little bit long, but I can trim that off. We're gonna do it right now. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. And I can kind of finagle this because it's damp. And hey, I really like the PVA. Oh, that is so pretty. So pretty. Yeah, and it's not like bleeding through at all. Okay. Okay, you little guy, you're gonna go, I'm putting that in water right away. And next thing, we've got our little bow. So this is from fabric that I've been using here and there. I used some in the book. I used a scrap for a pocket. I used this on Merry Little Junk Journal for the binding, for the outside binding cover. And I made a Martha Stewart bow, which, you know what, I'm just assuming everybody knows what that is, and maybe she didn't invent it, but that's where I saw it. And so all you do, okay, so you've got a piece of straight ribbon, right? So you're gonna take it, you're gonna make your loops like this. I should get in frame. Make your loops like this. You got loops, and then you're gonna just tie it like this. Okay, I know that they're too big, but you can pull them, right? And what it does is it gives you a flat bow without having to create, you know, this thing in the middle. It makes it on its own. And it's sturdy and it's good. And that's what we have going on here. So we are gonna use Fabrifix for this because you're not gonna see it come through. And I'm just gonna put it, and I believe this is the back. I don't know that there's really much of a difference here. And we're not done after this even. We got one more thing. Okay. I want it to be pretty much in the center, right? And I know that this is very like casual looking, but I just love the neutral, you know, the neutralness of it. And we've got plenty of other color going on. And so something's gonna go on top of that too, so. And it's kind of that country French kind of feel, as opposed to like, you know, elegant Rococo, French Rococo, or Baroque, or, you know. Now, let's get this over the top. And yes, it might squish some of those paper clips that are up there. So that fits nicely there. Oh, that's good. That's nice. That's very nice. Okay. So that fits perfectly in there. And the one last thing we're gonna do, this is a vintage pin. I'm not sure where I got it, but I just love the look of that on there. Now, I'm not gonna glue it. I'm just gonna pin it so that if the user doesn't want this on there, you know, I'm gonna get it through and pin it all the way. But if they don't want it, then they can remove it. Or if, you know, they wanna do some stuff for journaling and it's like getting in the way, they can take it off. It's beautiful. I love it, if I do say so myself. Okay, this is our little companion journal that I made to go along with France and Flowers Red Toile, if you remember this little guy. And I will, you know, go over this again in the flip through as well, but it all ties together, makes a beautiful little bundle. And you guys, we did it. We finished it. It was a lot of work. It was a ton of fun. And I so appreciate you being with me. I so appreciate you watching. And we will see you next time. Bye.